The 5 biggest mistakes entrepreneurs make when building business credit, and how to avoid them. Business credit is credit that is obtained in a business name. This credit is linked to the business EIN, not the business owner's Social Security number. Once an initial credit profile and score is established, a business can use its credit to qualify for credit and financing. Business credit can be used to qualify for credit and financing with no personal credit check or guarantee, including vendor credit, store credit, fleet credit, cash credit, auto vehicle financing. Business credit provides business owners a lot of unique benefits, including business credit card limits are 10 to 100 times higher than consumer credit. Business credit can be obtained very quickly. There's no impact on your personal credit. No consumer credit reporting. No inquiries for approval. Personal credit quality doesn't determine approval. With business credit, you have no personal liability. You can secure business credit even as a startup. You can get approved for business credit even when you can't get a business loan. There are no collateral requirements, no personal credit quality requirements, no cash flow requirements. Business credit doubles your borrowing ability because you can have a personal and a business credit profile established. Having established business credit increases the value of your business and gives you a competitive advantage. Business credit quality determines if you'll get a business loan, how much of a loan you'll qualify for, and the rates and terms you'll pay. There are 5 big mistakes that most entrepreneurs make when building business credit. Let's dive in and take a look so you can avoid these mistakes. Entrepreneur reports that over 90% of business owners know nothing about business credit. Of the ones who do know, most don't understand the steps to get business credit or make some common mistakes along the way. Today, we'll outline these mistakes and get you tips to avoid them. One of the first decisions you make as a business owner is also one of the most important ones. And one of the biggest mistakes entrepreneurs make also happens in one of the first steps to business setup. Initially, as you set up your business, you'll be asked to select your entity type. The most common entity types include S Corporation, C Corporation, Sole Proprietorship, Partnership, Limited Liability Company, LLC. Some people randomly guess an entity type for their new company. Others follow the advice of people they know. Some ask their accountant for advice, making the decision based on tax savings. Whomever you ask for advice with entity selection, make sure you choose wisely. Choosing the wrong entity can cost you a lot of unnecessary money when it comes to taxes. You can also lose out on one of the biggest benefits of building business credit at the same time. When choosing your entity, take into account tax savings and liability. For tax savings, your accountant can guide you best. They'll often recommend an S Corporation or LLC. For business credit building, you should stay away from partnerships and sole proprietorships. With sole proprietorships and partnerships, you are the business. Since you and the business are one and the same, you'll always be liable for what happens in your business. This means if the business were to get sued, you can be included in that lawsuit also. And if you default on credit for your business, you'll also be personally liable for that debt. One of the most powerful benefits of building business credit is that you separate your business and personal liability. This means if you were to default on a business credit card, your company can be sued, but you can't personally because you didn't personally guarantee the debt. This is one of the main reasons associations like the SBA recommend you build business credit. But if you are a sole proprietorship or partnership, you and the business are one and the same. So if your business gets sued, you get sued as well. This means if you default on a business credit card, even one you didn't personally guarantee, the business and you both can be sued. Limiting your personal liability is simple if you choose the right entity and avoid the other mistakes we'll talk about here. Make sure you avoid sole proprietorships and partnerships. Instead, choose a corporation or LLC as your entity type. When you choose an LLC or corporation, you'll typically be choosing an entity your accountant will recommend. And you separate your liability, as with those entities, you are separate from the business. Since you and the business are separate, your liability can be separate as well. When you choose an LLC or corporation, you'll typically be choosing an entity your accountant will recommend. And you separate your liability. As with those entities, you are separate from the business. Since you and the business are separate, your liability will be separate as well. All lenders and creditors have a secret set of standards you must meet to get approved. If you meet the criteria, you'll often be approved automatically by the credit issuer's computers. If you don't meet the criteria, your application will typically be moved to a manual review for approval. In most cases, a manual review, because of not meeting a credit issuer standard, results in a denial. Before applying for business credit, a business must ensure that you meet or exceed these credibility standards. In doing so, you'll typically get an automated approval for credit without any manual underwriting review. First, make sure your business is set up with the basics you'll need to get business credit. Set up your business with your Secretary of State as either an LLC or corporation. Get your EIN for free from www.irs.gov. Your EIN is the number you'll build business credit under, so you must have this set up before applying for credit. All lenders and credit issuers have restricted industry lists. If you choose an industry with a high-risk SIC or with your name indicating that you're in a high-risk industry, you can be denied. Stay away from names that indicate you're in a high-risk or restricted industry. These industries will often get you an immediate decline. Ammunition or weapons manufacturing, wholesale and retail. Bail bonds. Check cashing agencies. Energy, oil trading, or petroleum extraction or production. Finance. Gaming or gambling activities. Loans for the speculative purchases of securities or goods. Pawn shops. Political campaigns, candidates, or committees. Public administration. X-rated products or entertainment. These industries will expose you to more stringent underwriting guidelines. Agriculture or forest products. Auto, recreational vehicle, or boat sales. Courier services. Computer and software-related services. Dry cleaners. Entertainment. General contractors. Gasoline stations or convenience stores, also known as C-stores. Healthcare. Special trade contractors. Hotels or motels. Jewelry. Limousine services. Long-distance or over-the-road trucking. Mobile or manufactured home sales. Phone sales and direct selling establishments. Real estate agents and brokers. Real estate developers or land subdividers. Restaurants or drinking establishments. Software or programming companies. Taxi cabs. Travel agencies. Never put a UPS or PO box address on a business credit application. Use a real physical address business address, one that's unique to you. Your DUNS number from Dun & Bradstreet is assigned to your business based on your address. So make sure you don't use a shared address with another business. If you don't have a physical address, use a virtual address instead. With a virtual address, you basically rent a real physical address. You can get your mail there, and they forward it to you directly. You get the benefits of a real physical business address, but without the cost. If you can't afford a virtual address, use a home address as a last resort. Lenders and credit issuers will know you're using a home address, and some won't approve you for this reason. So try to use a real business address first, a virtual address second, and a home address as a last resort. Don't use a home or mobile phone number as your business phone number on an application. Lenders and credit issuers will know if you do. Use a real business phone number or a voice-over IP number. You can get them at places like RingCentral for cheap, typically less than $15 monthly. Make sure you also get a business fax number. And make sure you get a toll-free number. Most places that offer VoIP numbers can give you one toll-free business number that's also your fax number. And make sure you list your number with 411. Initial business credit vendors will verify your 411 listing before they approve you. Set up a professional website for your business. You can get a domain and hosting from a place like www.godaddy.com. And make sure you get a professional email with your domain as well. You can get a website template from a place like www.templatemonster.com. You can get someone to set up your site at a place like www.upwork.com or www.fiverr.com. Google your business to see what listings show for your company. Make sure that all info listed in these listings is congruent. If you change something in your business and the info is inaccurate, consider services such as www.yext.com to ensure all of your listings are the same. One of the biggest mistakes entrepreneurs make when getting business credit is thinking they are getting true business credit when they're not. Many credit issuers offer credit for a business. This credit asks for business details on the application and has the business name on the card. Some of this credit comes in the form of debit cards. Other credit comes in the form of real revolving credit cards. In both cases, business details are required for approval and the cards are issued with business details on them. But this isn't truly business credit. Anytime you have to supply your Social Security number and personal guarantee, you're not getting real business credit. You're only getting credit that's issued to your business and you as an individual. If you default, you'll still be personally liable. And if your consumer credit is bad, you won't get approved. True business credit doesn't require a Social Security number on the application for approval. Once you supply the Social Security number, you are attaching a personal guarantee. And the credit issuer will also pull your consumer credit report and make the credit issuing decision based on that. In many cases, the credit you obtain even reports to the consumer reporting agencies. This can be devastating to your consumer credit scores because 30% of your consumer FICO score is based on your utilization. So just by using your new card for your business, you'll drastically lower your consumer scores. The Capital One Spark card is a perfect example. The application you'll complete looks and feels like a business application. You'll need to supply your business name, EIN, address, and contact info. But if you'll get approved, the card reports on your consumer credit reports. Do you have true business credit? Only if you've obtained credit without supplying your Social Security number. If you did supply your SSN, you might have gotten a business credit card, but it's not true business credit. This means you won't get hardly any of the benefits true business credit provides. We are conditioned to believe when there's an SSN field on the application, it must be completed. But there is no law that requires a Social Security number be supplied on credit applications. There are 2 federal laws that make it a felony to use any other number than a Social Security number in the Social Security number field. But you can legally leave the SSN field blank. If you leave an SSN field blank on a business application, you force the credit issuer to then pull your EIN credit report. Your credit approval decision will then be based on the quality of your business credit reports and scores instead of your consumer credit. Don't forget, when you supply your Social Security number on the application, you are also authorizing a consumer credit pull. This means the approval decision will be based on the quality of your consumer credit. And you'll put an inquiry on your consumer credit reports. Plus, you'll be personally guaranteeing that credit. You can leave the SSN field blank and with some established EIN credit, still get approved. You can get approved for many types of credit this way: vendor credit, store credit, cash credit, fleet credit, auto financing. Even though you can get revolving business credit without providing your Social Security number, most business loans will still require it. Almost all business credit lines and loans will require your Social Security number and will require a consumer credit pull. It is possible to build your business credit so strong you can avoid this. To do this, you'll usually need to be in business for 3 years or more, and you'll need to have revenues in the millions. And you'll have to have very well-established business credit with more than 20 reported trade lines. You can apply and get credit for your EIN that's not linked to your Social Security number. To do this, you apply and leave the SSN field blank. But you cannot start applying for most credit before you have some credit reporting on your business credit reports. There is a specific sequence you must apply for business credit in order to get approved. If you apply for the wrong type of credit too early, you'll get denied. The correct order to apply for is vendor credit, store credit, fleet credit, cash credit, and vehicle financing. You should start building business credit using vendor accounts. This is often called trade credit, and the credit issuers will issue terms similar to Net 30 instead of revolving accounts. Over 97% of trade vendors who issue credit don't report it to the business reporting agencies, so you must find sources that actually do report. Some vendors who will give you business credit that's linked to your EIN and not your Social Security number, and that don't require prior credit being reported are Uline, Quill, Seton, Monopolize Your Marketplace. You'll need 5 accounts reported on your business reports to get approved for store credit. You'll need 10 accounts reported to get approved for fleet credit. You'll need 10 to 15 accounts reported to get most cash credit and auto financing. Make sure you apply for credit in the right order to avoid getting denied. You can get credit for your EIN that's not linked to your Social Security number and all the benefits that go with it. To do this, make sure you avoid these 5 mistakes. Choose an entity type of corporation or LLC. Set up your business credibly. Recognize true business credit. No Social Security number required. No personal guarantee attached. No consumer credit inquiry. No consumer credit reporting. Leave the SSN field blank on your business credit card applications. Apply for credit in the correct order. Contact us today to expedite your business credit build.